Steve from Boxing UK. Delighted to be joined by Sheffield's finest, Johnny Nelson.
How you doing, stranger? It's nice to be on my doorstep. Nice show put on here by Fight Zone with Dennis Hobson. So it's a weekly thing he's putting on for at least the next 6 weeks or so. So he's created his own little Caesar's Palace.
It is. Last time we spoke, I interrupted you eating fish and chips.
That's right. I was on one of those mad diets.
I don't feel too bad this week.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you been keeping?
I've been keeping well. It's things are rolling on. So we've got Lewis Ritson next week up in Newcastle. Looking forward to that. So it's nice. Newcastle, they've got a good fighting crowd there as well.
Good man. Can we take you back to boxing this year?
Yeah, sure.
Just your highlights so far. We've obviously had Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah.
We've had Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Anything standing out for you?
Josh Taylor, he's the best of the best of the bunch, and he proved that in how he dominated and dominated throughout the fight. Billy Joe Saunders went out there. He went out to box the best, one of the best fighter in the world, and Canelo Alvarez. And Alvarez is forever improving, forever developing in one way or another. So for Billy Joe, listen, you've always got to back your Brit. As far as I'm concerned, that's my attitude. Get out there, and Billy Joe has the skill. He just didn't have what it took to be Canelo.
How did you have the fight before it was stopped, before he came?
He was doing alright. He was behind a point. He was behind, but he was doing okay. He showed a good account of himself, but you could see Canelo had not even stepped out of gear yet. And as the fight was rolling on, you could see the pressure was on. I actually asked Dominic Ingle about it. What do you think? He said you could see after a few rounds, the way the fight was going, and Canelo was really just taking his time. He's a different level. He's a completely different level. Amir Khan, who was out there with Billy in the squad, he said when you see this guy Canelo up close and personal, he said he thinks he's got some of that voodoo stuff going on. He's like eyes rolled. Next minute he's turned into a fighting man.
Can we ask you about the heavyweight scene, Johnny?
Sure, yeah.
Bit of a mess.
Yeah, no, it's a shame because all the public got excited about the potential of Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. It showed business. Unfortunately, business messed up the show on this occasion, and the arbitration with Deontay Wilder had in regards to Tyson Fury scuppered the fight. For us as Brits, to see two Brits fight for all the belts. So now the train slowed down, derailed for a short while. Now both fighters have their obligations to fulfill before we get the fight, if we get the fight. Obviously Tyson Fury against Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua against Alexander Usyk defending his WBO spot. So these guys have still both got dangerous fights in front of them. If they're the top of the heavyweight tree, then we'll see. Joshua will beat Usyk, Fury will beat Wilder, and then there's no obstacles. But these are not soft touches again, so it's going to be a tough one.
I think the most intriguing one is AJ against Usyk. Is that a potential banana skin for you, Johnny?
Without a doubt, I think Usyk's a brilliant fight. He was obviously, as far as I was concerned, king of the hill at the cruiserweight division. I thought it'd be the heir apparent at heavyweight, and then in his two heavyweight outings, he's probably not as impressed me as much as what he did when he's at cruiserweight, which tells me he's in with bigger guys, and when you're with big guys that can punch, that are fast, you eventually you've got to defend that boxing skill. I don't think he's ever going to match it for strength. Skill-wise, it's going to take a bit of time for him to get comfortable into the division. If I was Usyk's people, I'd actually wait half a dozen heavyweight fights before saying, "Right, you're in now, you're ready," because it's a big risk for him. And do they really? Is it risk reward? How do you figure out? Could he beat Anthony Joshua? Of course, he thinks he could beat Anthony Joshua, but Anthony Joshua's a big, fast, powerful athlete, and a natural heavyweight. So listen, it's a calculated gamble. We'll see how it goes.
In a word, do you think we'll ever see AJ Fury?
I do. I really do. As long as both fighters win their next fight, I really do think it can happen. The fight will be as valuable as it was, previously before it's been derailed. So I do think it'll happen at some point.
Two more. Sky Sports got a big fight in inverted commas tomorrow. What do you make of that? With Mayweather and Logan Paul.
Yeah, Mayweather and Logan Paul this weekend. You know what? Floyd Mayweather, 50-0. one of the best fighters of my generation. He's going at 44 years old, father of 4, going in against a 26-year-old YouTuber. And I'll tell you now, if you can box, you can always box, no matter how old you are. It's much like seeing an old footballer. They'll put weight on it, but he's still got the feet. He can still dribble. He can still tap the ball. Mayweather will always be able to box. They'll not be able to match him for energy levels or speed, but his time, his knowledge, and anticipation is going to be far too much for Logan Paul. Logan Paul has talked himself into a position to fight Floyd Mayweather. There's a lot of money involved, and you know what? Good on him, and it's entertainment. So let's not take this out of context. If I wasn't working the show myself, I'd be sat at home with my dog and a pot of popcorn, sit down watching it. I think it's gonna be good entertainment, intriguing entertainment. It's two worlds collide. You know, you've got a YouTube world, and I can remember when KSI boxed and I can't remember what I saw another YouTuber boxing. The crowd was so different. It was like parents with their kids, you know, with packed lunches. So come on, little Billy. So it's a different crowd. So now you've got two worlds colliding again. You know, you've got the Mayweather fans, the lovers, the haters. They might think, you know what, Logan Paul's a big lad, he'll do him. You know, good. Create that intrigue.
That's what's scary though, Johnny.
Yeah, exactly.
People think that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And people thought that when Mayweather boxed McGregor. People think that all the time, but you don't understand. You can't play boxing. Yeah. You can't play boxing. You can play any other sport. You can't play boxing. I think, and this will be a rude awakening if Logan lands a shot he shouldn't have landed. Floyd will think, nah, I'm having it. I'll tell you what we did bring in a better fight. Floyd against his brother Jake. You know, because I think Jake's really got under his skin, and Logan's kind of distanced himself from Jake's antics. Yeah. But you know what, the fight's on, so I'm looking forward to it Sunday night.
Good man. You're in Newcastle next week, our neck of the woods.
Yeah, Lewis Ritson. I'm looking forward to that. I rate Ritson. He's a good crowd puller, and Newcastle needs somebody to fall in love with and follow. I think he fits the bill on every level. He's come through the hard way, so he deserved everything he gets.
Good man.